friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind God Updates and God Too, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
She gave up being a Victoria's Secret model after finding Jesus, and now she needs prayer. Written by Hallie Wells, read by Julie Provost. Former Victoria's Secret model Nicole Weeder has been sharing her faith for quite some time. However, recently Nicole is speaking openly about her cancer diagnosis and asking for prayers from her social media followers and friends. Nicole spoke with Billie Holloway of CBN News Digital about receiving the frightening and shocking diagnosis on November 19th, just prior to her 38th birthday. When Nicole Weeder developed a bump under her arm, she wasn't too concerned. She figured the swollen lymph node was due to an infection and wasn't serious. So when she visited urgent care to get an antibiotic, she had no reason to expect bad news, and certainly no reason to expect a diagnosis of stage 4 breast cancer. The urgent care doctor told Nicole that the lump near her breast didn't feel normal and immediately requested a full-body scan. Within 10 minutes, the radiologist delivered the news that she had cancer in her breast, lymph nodes, and liver. In shock, Nicole struggled to comprehend the information. The wife and mom of two had been feeling completely healthy. Nicole had 2 full blood panels just weeks prior, and both had been perfect. Her blood pressure was fine. Furthermore, while breast cancer is the most common type of cancer among women, second only to skin cancer, it's very unusual to be diagnosed before the age of 45. The median age for breast cancer diagnosis is 62. Doctors don't even recommend mammograms for women of her age. Wanting to get Nicole in for treatment as quickly as possible, the doctor arranged for her to be admitted to Baylor University Medical Center. Her oncologist developed a treatment plan that included several rounds of chemotherapy with an off week every 2 in order for Nicole's body to heal. Just weeks before Christmas, when Nicole received the diagnosis, she dealt with a myriad of emotions. Obviously, with stage 4 cancer diagnosis, I've been feeling so many different emotions, she said. Shock at first was my first emotion, and then I was feeling overwhelmed, and then I was feeling sad. Nicole found encouragement immediately from the hospital chaplain who prayed with her, the faith-filled nurses who treated her, the morning prayers shared over the hospital intercom, and the kind words posted on social media. She shared, "What's so interesting about it is, even though I have this diagnosis, I have felt God's love like never before, almost like I feel God comforting me in such a big way." Along the way, Nicole has observed blessings. She was grateful that she already decorated her home before learning about her illness and beginning treatments. She shared, "It's been all these little God things that have happened to me that I'm like, I feel God's presence throughout this process," she said, "and I am just seeing God's love pop up in all these different ways, showing me that I'm not alone." Nicole Weeder found Jesus when she was 23 years old. She was knee-deep in the modeling world and was successful by the world's standards. Instead of happiness, though, Nicole felt depressed and worthless. In addition to being criticized for her weight, she felt shame regarding her lingerie and swimwear photos. Nicole shared with CBN Digital, "I realized that being a model was truly not what it was cracked up to be. I felt degraded, and I was never perfect enough, and being judged only on my appearance was hurting my self-esteem." Following the advice of a Christian friend, Nicole decided to leave modeling behind. Beautiful inside and out, Nicole Weeder determined that she wanted to make God proud. She now seeks to connect with Inspire girls in positive ways through her Instagram posts and Project Inspired. In Project Inspired, Nicole shares tips for teen girls on staying true to how they were created. She offers advice on how to dress both fashionably and modestly, make a positive impact, and enjoy their teen years while standing firm in faith. Nicole shared an update on her health journey in mid-January. Not only is her body responding to treatment, but the largest of her tumors has vanished. Nearing completion of her chemotherapy treatments, Nicole thanked all those who have been praying for her. "Best wishes, beautiful Nicole. We are praying for you and cheering you on in your fight. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Psalms 23:4. Groom's jaw drops as best man speech from brother brings forth a shocking confession. Written by Julie Provost, read by Julie Provost. At a wedding, it can be quite common to hear a best man speech from a brother, and sometimes they have interesting things to share. In the case of this wedding, the best man shares a shocking confession, one that stunned the groom. The story begins when the best man is 8 years old. Dave, the groom, has his friend Mark come over so they can play paintball. The brother, being a couple years younger than them, asked to play too. As soon as the brother said the word paintball, the groom got the weirdest look on his face, as if he knew what was coming. Back to the story. Dave and Mark shut him down, but he went to get his stuff anyway. However, they left without him. So what does the brother do? So I picked up a couple of Mark's paintballs and I threw them against the house next door. As soon as Dave heard this, he points and says, wait, are you serious? And then I got in so much trouble for that. So the truth of the day comes out 20 years later in a best man speech from a brother. Back then, no one believed Mark and Dave, even though they tried to tell the truth. As the story goes on, the brother goes on to say, I knew I was going to have to tell eventually, but boy, was I really wanting to watch TV that day. He also said that his story was his wedding gift to his brother. I guess he never did tell the truth, at least not until this moment. In the comments, others shared their sibling stories. I was 5 and ate all the cereal stored on the fridge. Siblings got punished. Parents said, she's too little to reach. I'm 58, never told anyone. My brother-in-law confessed to breaking the wood stove glass when they were kids at Hub's and my rehearsal dinner. Father-in-law yelled, I knew it! This reminds me of the time I was mad at my sister and I wrote her name on the wall in crayon. As you can tell in the video, these brothers seem to have a good relationship these days. Growing up with siblings can be challenging, but being able to be friends as adults is priceless. You have so many stories you can tell, and maybe some that you probably shouldn't. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Ephesians 4:32.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.